There is someone in your life right now who is quietly, secretly building serious wealth. You would never guess it by looking at them. They do not drive a luxury car, they do not wear designer clothes, they do not post vacation photos every weekend, they do not talk about money at dinner. But while everyone around them is spending to look successful, they are building something real, something that will change their family's financial trajectory for generations. And today, I am going to show you the 13 specific signs that identify these people, because once you know what to look for, you will start seeing them everywhere. My name is MoneyTruth, and this is the video that will permanently change how you read people's finances. Subscribe right now for weekly financial truths nobody else is putting in front of you. Sign number 1. They drive boring cars. Not cheap cars, not broken down cars. Boring cars. A 2019 Toyota Camry with 60,000 miles. A 2020 Honda CR-V that is clean but not new. A paid-off Hyundai that they have driven for 7 years. Thomas Stanley, the researcher who wrote The Millionaire Next Door, found that the most common vehicle among American millionaires is a Toyota, not a BMW, not a Mercedes, not a Tesla, a Toyota. The secretly wealthy understand something the status seekers do not. A car is a depreciating asset. Every dollar spent on an impressive car is a dollar that is not compounding in an investment account. The person driving the 3-year-old Camry and the person driving the brand new $75,000 truck are not in the same financial position. They are in completely opposite financial positions. The Camry driver is building wealth. The truck driver is financing the illusion of it. Sign number 2. They are vague about their income. Ask a secretly wealthy person what they do for a living and they will tell you. Ask them what they make and they will change the subject. Not because they are embarrassed, because they have no interest in your opinion of their income. Wealthy people understand that broadcasting your income invites comparison, pressure, and expectation. It invites lifestyle inflation. It invites the feeling that you need to look like you earn what you earn. The person who volunteers their salary at dinner is almost always the person who needs validation. The secretly wealthy person does not need your validation. They have a net worth statement for that. Sign number 3. They own their home, but it is not impressive. The secretly wealthy are not living in the biggest house on the street. They are living in a house that was purchased strategically, at the right price, at the right time, in the right location. They bought a home they could genuinely afford. They paid it off aggressively or made large principal payments, and they resisted every temptation to upgrade to a bigger, more impressive house every time their income increased. Their neighbors might have a bigger house, a nicer kitchen, a better neighborhood, but the secretly wealthy person has something their neighbors do not. Equity. Real equity, not leveraged equity built on a mortgage they are still paying in their 60s. Sign number 4. They never mention their investments. The secretly wealthy person has a brokerage account, a Roth IRA, probably a 401k maxed out, maybe a rental property or two. You will never hear them mention any of it. They do not talk about stocks at parties. They do not share their portfolio returns at dinner. They do not tell you about the index fund they've been contributing to since they were 27. This is not accidental. Wealthy people have learned, usually through painful experience, that talking about investments invites bad advice, pressure to invest in things that don't make sense, and the expectation that your success means you should pay for everyone else's dinner. Silence about investments is not modesty, it's strategy. Sign number 5. They live below their income significantly. The secretly wealthy person earns $120,000 per year and lives like they earn $80,000. Not because they're cheap, not because they deprive themselves of joy, because they made a fundamental decision at some point in their life that their savings rate was more important than their lifestyle appearance. They have a nice house, they eat good food, they take vacations, but their lifestyle is deliberately, consciously below what their income could support, because the gap between what they earn and what they spend is the engine that builds their wealth. Every raise they receive, a significant portion goes to investments before lifestyle sees a dollar. This is the single most reliable predictor of secret wealth. Not income, not education, not luck. The gap between income and spending, maintained consistently for years. Sign number 6. They are obsessed with net worth, not income. Ask a secretly wealthy person how they're doing financially, and they will probably smile and say fine. But internally, they know their net worth to the dollar. They track it monthly. They have a spreadsheet or an app that shows total assets minus total liabilities. And that number going up is the only financial metric that actually matters to them. They don't care what their coworker earns. They don't care what their neighbor's house is worth. They care about one number: their net worth, and whether it went up this month. This obsession with net worth rather than income is one of the clearest dividing lines between people who are quietly building wealth and people who are quietly going broke while looking successful. Sign number 7. They make financial decisions slowly. The secretly wealthy person doesn't impulse buy, not because they can't afford it, because they trained themselves out of it years ago. They sleep on purchases. They research boring things like insurance rates and mortgage refinancing and utility providers because they know that small optimizations compound over time. They are not cheap at restaurants, they are not miserly with friends, but when it comes to major financial decisions, cars, homes, investments, they move with the same careful deliberation that built their wealth in the first place. Fast decisions are expensive decisions. The secretly wealthy know this. Sign number 8. They have multiple income streams. The secretly wealthy person does not rely on one paycheck, not because they are working 80 hours a week across multiple jobs, but because at some point they converted savings into assets, and those assets now generate income independently. Dividend income from index funds, rental income from a property, interest income, a small business that runs without their daily involvement. These streams are not massive individually, but combined, they create something the single income person does not have: financial resilience, the ability to survive a job loss, a health crisis, a market downturn without catastrophe. The secretly wealthy person would survive losing their job tomorrow. The high-income single-income person would not. Sign number 9. They are remarkably calm about money. Watch someone's face when the topic of money comes up in a group conversation. Some people get anxious, some get defensive, some immediately redirect to how much things cost and who is paying. The secretly wealthy person gets calm, almost bored. Not because they are arrogant, because they have financial security, and financial security is the single most effective cure for financial anxiety that exists. When you have $300,000 in invested assets and a paid-off house, the economic news cycle stops feeling threatening. Market drops become buying opportunities. Interest rate changes are interesting data points, not catastrophes. The calm person in the room when money comes up, there is a very good chance they know something about their financial situation that the anxious people around them do not. Sign number 10. They do not care what you think about their money choices. The secretly wealthy person bought a used car instead of a new one, and they do not feel the need to explain why. They brought lunch to the office, and they are not embarrassed about it. They declined the expensive group vacation, and they are completely unbothered by whatever anyone thinks about that decision. This is perhaps the most underrated characteristic of secretly wealthy people: the freedom from social comparison, the immunity to the financial peer pressure that quietly destroys most people's savings. The average person makes financial decisions based partially on how those decisions will look to other people. The secretly wealthy person makes financial decisions based exclusively on how they affect net worth, and they genuinely do not care about the gap between those two things. Sign number 11. They max out tax-advantaged accounts every year. The secretly wealthy person maxes their 401k, maxes their Roth IRA, uses every legal tax advantage available. Not because they read a complex tax strategy guide, because at some point they understood one simple truth: every dollar you do not pay in taxes is a dollar that compounds tax-free in your investment account. The difference between investing $500 per month in a taxable account and investing $500 per month in a Roth IRA over 30 years can be $100,000 or more in after-tax wealth. The secretly wealthy do not leave that money on the table. Sign number 12. They talk about time more than money. The secretly wealthy person's most common financial statement is not how much something costs. It is, what is this really worth in terms of time? A new car is not $600 per month. It is 3 years of compound interest permanently removed from your investment trajectory. A kitchen upgrade is not $40,000. It is the difference between retiring at 62 and retiring at 65. When the secretly wealthy person evaluates a major financial decision, they convert it to time. Time to financial independence. Time to retirement. Time that compound interest needs to turn small investments into life-changing wealth. This mental conversion from dollars to time is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools that almost nobody talks about. Sign number 13. They started earlier than you think. The person who appears quietly wealthy at 45 did not become quietly wealthy at 45. They made a decision at 25, or 28, or 31. A quiet, undramatic, completely unremarkable decision to automate their savings, invest consistently, and leave it alone. While their peers were upgrading apartments and buying impressive cars and building Instagram-worthy lives, the secretly wealthy person was building something invisible, something that would not show any visible results for 10 or 15 years. And then one day, the compound interest crossed the threshold, where it became self-sustaining, where the returns on their investments started growing faster than they could spend, where financial independence stopped being a dream and started being a math problem with a specific answer and a specific date. They did not win the lottery. They did not get a massive inheritance. They did not stumble onto a hot investment. They just started, earlier than everyone else. Quietly, without telling anyone. And that's the most important secret of all. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Subscribe to MoneyTruth, because this is exactly the kind of truth that changes everything.